grab taken there by the tall target in Talia Gillard from the Calder Cannons.
It was good to see them back in the tall because they had runners further out that they could have opted for, but they put it to her advantage and she clunked it with a couple of grabs.
Directly in front, she spins the Sherrin in her hands, does Gillard, pops it on the right boot and goes straight over the top of the goal umpire's hat. Vic Metro with the score early here. We're 6.5 minutes in. It's 2-1-13 to 1 straight 6. What are the other key trends you've picked up from the opening 6.5 minutes of play, Pete?
Well, I certainly noticed that Metro like to get their numbers forward, which we saw it cost them a goal early. But when they get it running, they've just got numbers. They're running in waves. So Country have to be aware of that they've got to run defensively with them. But they do know there's space over the back if they can get it.
So as we await the ball to be thrown up, the AFLW Under-16s championship game between Vic Metro and Vic Country. As the ball comes to ground, tackle laid on by Matza. We should get a stoppage, and we will. As I alluded to, not much in terms of weather conditions here, apart from it being very cold here at Avalon Airport Oval. Here is Ryan, coughs the ball up for Vic Metro. Hardy pops it on her boot inside 50 once more for Vic Metro. They're looking dangerous. Ball comes out the pack. James chasing it. Handball fed out. They've just got heaps of numbers here, Vic Metro. Murphy trying to sit on it this time.
This is better by Vic Country here, though. They've set up behind the ball.
They have. They get the ball into Sanderson's hands. The disposal, though, ineffective for them. Crashing in was Murphy again. Tries to move the ball on. Matza comes in over the top. Here's Murphy again, a centering ball. Comes out, dangerous. Roving, smart. Whacked it on the boot. Just squeezes it through for a minor score.
Yeah, some good play. They're starting to learn Country. They've worked out what Metro are sort of doing, and whether that's a runner's call or something along those lines, they've worked it out. So they've started to man up the loose players over there.
Holly Booth, one of the co-captains today in this Vic Country side for the Under-16s, brings the ball back into play, and it's okay. Mark taken here by Sanderson. Inside defensive 50. Had a player on. The kick was a little far for Matza in the middle. And the umpire a little hot on the whistle there. Said she had time to get rid of it.
Don't know about that.
Lennox. Special comments there from Pete Williams as the ball bouncing around centre half forward. You see looking over the top of it, as is Willsmore. Again, pops out. Vic Country with numbers at the back of the contest. Try and get it in the direction of Angwin in the middle of Avalon Airport Oval. Almost were able to work it clear to Ryan waiting off the pack. Here's Meyer, gives the handball off quickly to Richardson. High ball inside 50 again, comes off hands and comes out the back. This is how Vic Country scored their opening goal. They won't get it this time. Rowbottom, famous name for the Oakley Chargers, gets it to Yassir. Still on half back. The kick just a little wide and not to their advantage. Able to mop up here is Asic for Vic Metro, who pops it down the line, and the mark is taken by Little. Just outside, attacking 50, outer side of Avalon Airport Oval. The kick inboard is okay. James takes the mark, plays on quickly, kick into the pocket, bounces away from everyone over the line and out of play.
It's good to see they're sort of mixing everyone around in positions. I know Rowbottom kicked a few goals in a game earlier this year. She's been sort of mid-forward and they're testing her out in defence, and they sort of do that a fair bit. So it's great to see players getting used to different positions playing through these championships.
We mentioned Charlie Rowbottom, a famous name. Her brother James played for Oakley Chargers in the Under-18 competition. As we're all wrapped up smart. Again, the ball somehow finds its way out. Meyer. Ball in hand, wobbly kick on the boot. Searching up the line there for Malla. Couldn't take it cleanly. Scrappy ball on that outer side. As I said before, we had a little bit of rain earlier, which makes things a little slippery here at the moment. Clearing kick here for Gillard inside 50, off hands. Again, Vic Country looked to release the handball. Featherson at the back of the contest was being held as she got the kick away, which means she coughs it up. And Stephanie Asic from the Western Jets takes the mark, pops it into the hole. 2-on-1, favoured Vic Country at the marking contest. Ball pops out. Here's Smith. Whacked it on the boot, no good. Dowling gets a clearing kick back into danger though. There was 3 Metro players there.
And there's just 3 sitting in the hole right there, if they can get it.
Smart gets it to Appleby.
Yeah, one of the most talented players is Appleby. She's played some really impressive games for the Knights this year. She's one to certainly watch, and hopefully she converts here.
Directly in front, no wind to speak of. The goal umpire did a little shuffle, but didn't have to do too much in the end. And Vic Metro have skipped out to a nice little buffer here at Avalon Airport Oval. 3-2-20 plays 1 straight 6. We've gone 12 minutes in the opening term of this AFLW Under-16s championship game. Of course, the Under-18s will be up next here at Avalon Airport Oval from 2 o'clock this afternoon. On special comments today is Pete Williams.
Yeah, it's been a really, I guess, a bit of a scrappy game so far, but the Metro side have been a lot cleaner going forward. They've had a hard job once inside 50, but to get it there, they haven't had too many problems. Ball
up. McKee won the tap down for Vic Country. They get a clearing kick towards centre half forward. Meyer for Vic Country. The handball comes the way of Friend. Now Chivarella. They get a clearing kick. Handball comes out. Unfortunately, we don't have the number 24 just yet. We'll get that for you shortly. Vic Metro able to take the mark. Lennox. High kick in the Yasir direction. Slipped through her fingers. Swung off the footy there was Friend. Country still get a kick inside 50. Comes off hands in favour of Vic Metro. High ball. Oh, needed a bit of talk there, did Vic Country. He'll pop it back inside, attacking 50. Angwin for the ball. He's all wrapped up by Lennox.
Yeah,
and the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
I quite like the not having the whistle till later. It gives you a chance to keep playing, especially in slippery conditions. You know players are going to slide across and go in.
As we'll get another stoppage. Still inside 50. Better, though, from Country. At least they've been able to hold things up.
Yeah, they haven't had too much time in forward half, so they need to maybe it'd be nice to get a settler in the last minute or so.
They won't get it in this passage of players. Asic all. Maybe they might. Coughed it up. Anthony chasing it. Ball a little slippery out there at the moment for all players. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Corner of the centre square. Broadcast side favouring Vic Country in this opening term. Ball comes to James. Quick kick on the boot. Taken, though, in a very impressive mark at centre half back by Featherson. Comes to the wing. Dishing the handball off is Tompkins. Gets it back, but's under immediate pressure. Ooh. A little deliberate there from Appleby.
Quite possibly. They wanted the line and they got it, so that's the main thing. It was quite congested there, so I'm not surprised that they just said play on.
Umpire hurls the ball back into play. Trying to grab it out, it was McKee, but stealing it there as Yasir goes inside 50 with the kick. Ball just a little too hot for Angepopoulos in there. Vic Country looked to work it clear. Dowling feeding the handball off.
Run out of time.
Yes, unable to get it. And a dominant opening term from Vic Metro on the scoreboard sees them with a healthy lead. 3-2-20 plays 1 straight 6.
Yeah, it was, well, Country actually went down and kicked the opening goal, and then since then Metro have sort of controlled the play. It was Metro always sort of were controlling the play, but Country got a lucky one over the top and then worked hard and got one goal side. But since then, Metro have sort of controlled it, and their work down the field, I know Yasir is one that's been really good at winning the ball and kicking it. She's got a lovely kick, I know, that she just putting it to the right positions and looks really, really impressive going forward. And, you know, there's been quite a few, like Talia Gillard's been quite good for Metro, I thought. Appleby we saw slot the nice goal. So there's quite a few. Casey Lennox as well in defence when they were attacking then has done quite a good job. So There's quite a few. Who have you liked from the first quarter?
Definitely, you see her. Love to her attack on the footy. Just the disposals, it's either just going a little wide or maybe just needs to lower the vision a little more just to hit up a target. But she's definitely been impressive. Pulteney was impressive early in the ruck for Vic Metro as well, getting a lot of the footy. Matza was getting some of it as well for Vic Country, trying to set up play off the half-back line. But we'll wait to see what they can do in the second term. They're in deficit at the moment. They're 1 straight 6. Vic Metro lead 3-2-20. We'll take a break here on the Under-16s AFLW Championship game between Vic Country and Vic Metro. Welcome back to Avalon Airport Oval at quarter time. We have Vic Metro 3-2-20 leading Vic Country 1 straight 6. Some of the better players from that opening term from the Vic Country lined up. Like Doijok's work very early on. She went a little bit quiet towards the end of the quarter, but was applying pressure around the ball carrier early along half-back. Yeah,
she's really balanced player. Like, if she can get into space, she's got a fair bit of pace on her. If she can just find that little bit of space, it's been very congested early, but if she can just get out to that wing and create a bit of run and carry, she'll certainly be an exciting player today. Did a few nice things early, I thought, and there were quite a few throughout. Like McKee looked impressive. Like, she did all she could up forward. There wasn't a lot in there, but she got over the back and used body position well. And now that Keely Skepper's the one we know is 24, we knew she won a bit of it because we didn't quite know which order they'd put it in. But that's good to know. So she's done all right on the wing as well. So there's been a number of players, and Ella Friend's another one. So Boston as well. So there's been a few that have stood out in the opening quarter, but right now it's all Metro, certainly for the last say 12 minutes of that quarter.
And yes, just to confirm what Pete said, a late change on the team sheet, 26 into 24, Keely Skepper for Vic Country today. So as we wait for the crowd to make their way off the field to commence the second quarter of this Under-16s AFLW Championship game between Vic Metro and Vic Country. As the gates seem to be...
It's very interesting. Catching me and spectators.
We'll throw the ball into the air to commence this second term. And again, quite scrappy to get things underway. Vic Country just soccer it off the carpet towards centre half forward. Stubber there for Vic Metro. Trying to get the handball away. Chivarella under pressure traps the ball in, trying to get it out. The umpire will come in and says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Half forward for Vic Country. Tap one down there by Matza. Ball inside 50. O'Dwyer up against the boundary line. A floating ball was good to Crowley. Takes the mark, defensive side of the broadcast wing. Doijok just through her hands to ground. Doing well and just shoveling it out there was Slender for Vic Country. Hurried handball from O'Dwyer. Ball over the boundary line and out of play.
Slender's one, I think, is worth mentioning. She's a key defender who can play tall or small, and I think she's definitely one to watch in the coming years. She's held down a key position place at Bendigo this year and certainly impressed in V-Line Cup last year.
Ball tossed back into play. Big fist again from Matza. Roved by Stubber. Kick towards centre wing broadcast side. Taken by Friend. Just high up and under kick towards half forward. Country had numbers. Chevarella was pushed off the footy. Caught here is Stubber. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up, just as Crowley was released.
Yeah, it's a very contested game. You'd expect that with these kind of conditions.
Ball to ground. Roving it here is Skepper, who we can confirm is the number 24 out there for Vic Country. Ball to ground. McKee almost got rid of it. Slung there was Marks, and she'll be pinged for dropping the footy. So free kick to go the way of Vic Metro. Stella Reid inside defensive 50 from the Oakley Chargers to take the free kick. Looks towards the outer side. Doijok getting in front spot.
Yeah.
Tried to slap it down.
Wet weather footy we've kicked into now.
As trying to wrap it up there is Marks, the umpire hovering and says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Ball at centre half forward for Vic Country. They trail 1 straight 6, Metro 3-2-20. Tapped down by Master again. She was able to swallow that handball there, but it was ineffective. Sargent, she tried to release the handball. It's almost turned it over again. Scrappy stuff inside 50 here for Vic Country. Eventually they get it into the hands of Matza, who hits up a target.
That's McKee again, is it?
It is.
She's doing everything she can as a forward. Like, they haven't had many chances, but she's getting her body into the right position and took another mark.
She comes in and has just squeezed that one through for her second.
Had a very low ball holding there, I think. It was an interesting style, but whatever works. We've seen some plenty interesting styles, individual styles over the years, but put that straight through, and that's all that matters.
That's it at the end of the day. So long as it goes through the big sticks, doesn't matter how it got there. And a badly needed goal there for Vic Country too. I think if they'd allowed Vic Metro to get the first of this second term, they would have been in a bit of strife. So 2 straight 12 plays 3-2-20. Vic Metro leading Vic Country in this Under-16s AFLW Championships game at Avalon Airport Oval.
Yeah, I really like the look of Skepper. She's playing quite well.
And she's kicked this ball in the direction of Chivarella on the broadcast wing. They've coughed it up. Crowley under pressure. Handball a little dangerous, but it's worked out okay. Sargent kicks it down the line, was searching for Murphy. Popped out of her hands. Good work by Country to feed it out. They tried to get it to the advantage of Sanderson, who got crunched. Coughed it up to Appleby, who just whacks it on the boot for Vic Metro. Front spot was Dowling, couldn't make the most of it. Woods out the back, will send it inside 50. Perfect kick.
Wow, that was a bit unlucky there for Country because Poppy Shapp did really well at ground level to just tap it to a teammate. But then Appleby was onto it, and she almost thought about taking it out, I think, and then managed to get boot to ball, and it gave him an opportunity.
And Pepper Pulteney with this one. Slide angle. pops it on its way. And it's kept in play momentarily and then pushed through for a minor score. So 3-3-21 Vic Metro leading Vic Country 2 straight 12. We've travelled 5 minutes in the second term. This Country look to bring it back into play. Clears everyone. Great mark by Anthony. Centre half back for Vic Country. Brings it towards the broadcast side. Front spot was Meyer. Brought the ball to ground. Again, they've got numbers around the contest here, Vic Country. They're going to get caught, though, by Yassir. A little high, though, according to the umpire. And a free kick will go the way of Chivarella, who has stood up in this second term. Popped it there in the direction of Angwin. Vic Metro able to repel it back towards centre half forward. Bounced away from Angelopoulos. Bobbling it there was Condon. The umpire said she was... got rid of that illegally, so a free kick will go the way of Vic Metro. Angelopoulos just pops it up in towards the hot spot for Vic Metro. Ball is all wrapped up.
I get the feeling that Metro sort of have more of a flowing game style, where Country look a little worried to get out of their positional structure. They don't want to, say, move too far from their...
Pulteney stole it. Sorry to cut you off there, Pete.
Okay.
It was swallowed by Skepper on the last line of defence.
Terrific.
Her kick wide to Dojok.
Here we go.
She takes it and she's off. Whacks it on the boot. Not the best of kicks, but certainly gained some miles for Vic Country. Vic Metro through Simpson. Centering ball, no good. Friend takes the mark. Centre wing out of side. Goes towards centre half forward. Again, just a little too hot there for Gilmore. Ball being paddled around. Vic Metro end up with the footy. Just coming off the bench here is Smith running towards the contest. Will it bounce favourably for her? No. Collecting it is Sanderson. Coughs the ball up. Vic Metro with possession. Stopped in her tracks by Friend. They were able to get the handball out, and O'Dwyer now for Vic Metro. Pops it towards centre half forward. Vic Country able to do well under pressure. Hurry kick on the boot from Condon. Effective. They got it there to Friend. Just pushing it forward, hoping it forward here, Vic Country. And again, the pressure around the contest causes the turnover. McKee goes inside 50. No good. Smother effective from Marks. The handball there from Matza back into the corridor area. Shap chasing it. Didn't sit kindly for her. Sitting over the top of it here is Stubber. Will get a ball up.
Yeah, just going on the other point, it does seem like Country want to maintain a strong, firm line to make sure they don't get too many to the contest. But now the issue is Metro are running in waves, and if they get the ball in their hands, they're really dangerous. As
working it clear there was Angwin for Vic Country. It's just hit the behind post, so we'll get a boundary throw-in.
McKee's playing further up now. She was playing deep forward, and now she's sort of around that half-forward area for Country.
So ball to be tossed back into play. Vic Country's forward pocket out of sight of Avalon Airport Oval. They trail by 9 points. Taking it there was Gilmore. Gave the quick handball off. They've got players left, right and centre. Gilmore ends up with it again. High ball towards the goal square. Oh, almost set kindly there for Chivarella, who's made her way forward.
They're playing better, Vic Country. They've just got to make the most of these opportunities with goals.
Vic Metro send it to a congested half-forward area. Unable to take it there. It was Yassir. That would have been something special had she been able to hang on to it. Had several bites of the cherry. She ends up with the footy here. Gets crunched into the turf. Ball spills out in favour of Vic Country. They move it forward. Vic Metro, hurried shot, went nowhere. And the umpire says there's a lot of holding going on, and I'll award a free kick the way of Vic Country. And it's Poppy Shap, one of the co-captains today for Vic Country.
I'm glad she's getting a chance to reward herself. She's played really well defensively today.
Right foot kick. Just had a little too much hook on it to the left-hand side. Another minor score. They've had a couple of opportunities this term. They've only added the one major to the scoreboard. 2 behinds. 2-2-14 they trail. 3-3-21 Vic Metro up. And at the moment they're stuck inside defensive 50.
That's all I think Vic Country needed to do early, is just slow it down a bit and keep possession, and that's what they've done. They've forced them into their attacking half.
Papachristos got it to Asic, who goes towards Murphy. Got punched out of her hands. Ball bobbling around. Smart. Just patted into the hands there of Anthony for Vic Country. She's coughed it up. Yassir now takes the mark. Half back flank on the broadcast side. From the Calder Cannons. Goes long. Perfect spot there from Slender. The Bendigo Pioneers. She pops it back. Oh, under pressure. Taking the mark there was Gilmore. Yassir was on her hammer. She's in a little bit of trouble here, Gilmore.
I think she just copped a bit of a knee to the back. Look like in that.
Yeah, shake of the head, so they'll call the trainers in. And the umpire's taken the Sharon back into his hands. So we've travelled 11 minutes in the second term of this Under-16s AFLW Championship game.
I think we've seen a lot better effort from Country in this quarter. They've pushed up a lot further and are pushing up a higher line. Like we saw Slender clunk a great mark there, and even though she did get injured there, Gilmore took a really good mark. So they're starting to clunk their marks a bit more now, which is important.
And we're just getting the rotation sorted so we can get play back underway. Anthony will end up taking the kick here for Gilmore, who's coming from the ground in the hands of the trainers. Doesn't look in too much discomfort, which is a positive sign for Vic Country. Ball inside 50. Angwin had the footy. They get it to the top of the goal square. Blue jumpers everywhere, though, and they're going to cough this one up. And Chivarella takes it directly in front, 30 metres out. Wanted to wind up, was a little hesitant in the end, coughed it up. Ball ended up in the hands of Anthony, flying shot on goal to the left-hand side.
They're getting closer, point by point, but I think you've got to make the most of their opportunities because it seems to be the scoring end today. So you want to be putting on a couple of goals. If they can kick a goal out of this, then it'll be worth it, especially considering they've had it in there probably 14 of the 15 minutes.
Vic Metro tries something different this time. Lennox goes towards the outer side, and they've been able to hit up a target inside defensive 50. Reed. This is better. Navigating their way outside a defensive 50. Row bottom on half back. Now comes the congested area. Dojok made a good effort of it and ended up with a footy. Long ball inside 50 here for Vic Country. Bounces out the back of the contest. Chasing it. His Matza just applied the pressure to knock Lennox over the boundary line and out of play.
Had to be very careful there with the deliberate rule in action, of course, so very clever not to give that away.
So we'll throw it in. Again, Vic Country attacking. They've had momentum in this second term. Just haven't been able to apply as much scoreboard pressure as what they would have liked. Tompkins hovering. Ball was taken by Vic Metro, not paid the mark. A little bit of push and shoving going on in that forward pocket. Ball ended up in the hand of Mallow. Well, kick smothered from Friend. Up against the line, Papachristos happy to rush it through for another minor score for Vic Country, Pete.
Yeah, well, if they kick a goal now, they'll be in front. So, but they've just got to make the most of it, I think. Metro are pushing hard when they're kicking out now. So
Lennox again goes towards the outer side. Umpire says no mark taken for Vic Metro, which means they're under pressure once more. Smart chasing it towards the line. Paddles the ball to Vic Metro's advantage, but they lose their feet. Meyer ended up with the footy running away from the contest. Sold the candy beautifully, runs inside 50
metres. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
no sense of occasion there from the umpire.
No, but I think that was more than her allocated 15. I think, yeah. She's,
well, I don't think she expected to get around the first tackler.
No, and then I think when she did, she forgot to bounce. Did an old Callum Brown, I think.
And the commentator forgot you had to bounce it too, as Vic Metro through Lennox. Again goes towards that outer side. Ball now centre wing. The umpire says a high tackle and a free kick will go the way of Vic Country, who were able to reset. Slender pops it up. Lennox almost took a hanger. getting stripped of the ball there is Stubber. The umpire says she didn't get rid of it legally. And the whistle has sounded.
Might as well have a crack at a torpedo here. I mean...
So with ball in hand is McKee, who's kicked 2 goals already.
This will take the best part of 55 metres, I think. So, is that a drop punt still? Yeah.
And fails to go the distance. So at half-time here at Avalon Airport Oval, Vic Country, after a dominant term, unable to get in front. 2-4-16 trailing Vic Metro 3-3-21. Some of the better players from the first half of action here in this Under-16s AFLW Championship game, Pete Williams.
Well, you know, UC is probably the for mine. She's been consistent across both quarters. There's a lot of the players today have had one really good quarter and one okay quarter. I think she's been really consistent across both. Casey Lennox in defence, particularly that quarter under siege, she did well. Neve Crowley kept presenting. Pepper Poltney in the first term was really good. Michaela Appleby, her composure, she's been quite good as well. There's been quite a few from the Metro team. What about Country?
Looking down the list, Matz has had a fair bit of the footy, been present around the contest. Poppy Shapp, when she gets ball in hands, looks fairly dangerous. They've just got to get it in her hands more often. Chivarella's been consistent throughout the game as well. McKee up forward, obviously dominant with her 2 goals to date. Doijok again, there's just flashes of excitement and X factor every time she gets ball in hand. So looking forward to seeing, obviously, how she progresses over the next few years. Of course, this is the Under-16s game, so they're not eligible for a couple of years' time, which is scary because some of the skills that we're seeing out there are very, very good.
Yeah, and I mean, Doijok's one who was actually playing last year as sort of that 15-year-old in an Under-18s comp in the NAB League. So it's really good to see her progress and continue to develop because she's still got a few areas to iron out, the consistency in the kicking, but when she gets ball in hand and can get goal side, particularly on a wing or half back, we saw it at half back there. Once she got free, she was off. So she's certainly one that breaks the lines and able to do that. And I thought, yeah, McKee up forward and Slender down back there. There are a couple of tools who work really hard and are presenting constantly.
Keely Skipper was the other one that was
100%.
Prominent in that opening half. Didn't call her too many times in the first quarter, given that she had a late number change with her Guernsey, but she has got a lot of the footy and has been trying to set Vic Country up going forward. Yeah,
she's certainly been a real talent there, and it's great to see some of these names because they're going to be names we, I guess, hear from over the next few years. So, and of course for them, once they finish their game, they can watch the Under-18s, and hopefully for some of them, they'll make the side next year for the Under-18s.
Which does follow this game here at Avalon Airport Oval, and it will be live streamed as well coming up at 2 o'clock. The AFLW Under-18 Championship game between Vic Country and Vic Metro. At half-time here at Avalon Airport Oval, though, it is Vic Metro 3-3-21 leading Vic Country 2-4-16 in the Under-16s AFLW Championship game. We'll take a break. We'll be back with you shortly here from Avalon Airport Oval. A couple of those opportunities could have been quite easily majors.
And just for those who might have listened prior, Macy Gilmore seems to be all right and sitting on the bench after that knock to the back in a marking contest. So she's gone and done a few runs through and she was able to go back into the rooms, and now she's sitting on the bench.
So just getting the 6x6x6 into position, and we'll be back underway here at Avalon Airport Oval for the second half of this Under-16s AFLW match as Yasir feeds the handball out. Vic Metro moving it forward. The kick inside 50, no good. Cut off on this occasion by Sanderson for Vic Country. Ball, it's a bit ping-pongy at the moment. Stubber had it momentarily, got it back, and then kicks it to Vic Metro's advantage on that outer side. James takes the mark. Right foot kick on its way in the Murphy direction, got knocked out of her hands. Country with the Rovers, and they're able to pop it up to Skepper, just outside defensive 50 on the outer side. She goes short to Friend. Again, playing possession footy down the outer side. Richardson now takes the mark for Vic Country. Wanted to steer it inboard, but elected in the end to play on. Pumps it down that boundary line. High ball. In the end, getting back there, taking the mark is Sargent for Vic Metro. Half back on the outer side.
It's interesting, there's 4 on the Country bench at the moment, 5 on the Metro, so to keep an eye out on that. There was one Metro player who was laid out to the ground, so it might be the case for Country as well.
Stubbers kick forward, kicking in danger. Yes, the umpire says free kick to go the way of Vic Metro on the outer side. In the hands of Amelia Yasir from the Calder Cannon. She pops it inside 50. Murphy waiting out the back, was unable to get to it. Vic Country get a clearing handball to Anthony, got caught, but she got the handball away in time as well. Mopping up his Friend. Popped it on the boot, looking for Richardson. Defensive side of the outer wing for Vic Country. And the umpire says holding the ball. They've been hot on that today, Pete.
Yeah, they seem to not do too much early on. They were letting it play, and then they've sort of been calling it a fair bit since midway first term. Rowbottom
kicks it towards half back where it's intercepted by Radford. Called to play on. Had to do a bit of a dance to get around her opponent. Popped the kick up. Asic was sitting underneath it. Was able to get the ball back into her hands, kicks it towards half forward. Scrappy contest, comes out to Hardy, gives it off to Yasir, kick inside 50, good for Murphy at full stretch, takes the mark.
It's great to see her finally sort of clunk one. She's been working really hard, it's just the slippery ball's been just going over her head or slipping through the hands. So to grab one, especially running hard like that's great work by her, and hopefully she can convert for all her effort.
Slide angle, her opponent stands about 25 metres from goal. Charlie Murphy from the Sandringham Dragons comes in. Right foot kick on its way. Beautiful. Slots it through, something that Vic Country weren't able to do up at that ending in the second term. Vic Metro with the first goal on the board in the second half. They moved to 4-3-27 to Vic Country 2-4-16.
It was a very no-fuss approach about that goal kick. It was low. She probably knew if she put it too high, it might not make the distance. So keeping it low and sort of just speared it through enough to get over the waiting defenders was enough to put it through. And now it's a pretty handy lead in these conditions.
Yes, as we've alluded to a couple of times, it's slippery out there due to the rain that we've had earlier, which is making it a little scrappy. No wind, overcast and very cold. The weather conditions here at Avalon Airport Oval. Hardy did well to navigate around traffic. Vic Metro working inside 50. Taking the mark here, Eliza James from the Oakley Chargers. Another good passage of play there from Vic Metro. They've just been able to release the shackles.
Yeah, this is looking very ominous at the moment. It looks like they've come out with a real intensity to kick a few goals early.
Eliza James got close to the woman on the mark and just put it through for a minor score. Little reprieve there for Vic Country. What can they do coming outside a defensive 50? Featherston to take the ball at the 4-minute mark of the third term. 2-on-2. Yasir coming late. Took it. Dribbling ball. Oh, that would have been on the highlights reel for Amelia Yasir. Just didn't get enough bend on it in the end.
Yeah, that was it was probably worth it. Didn't have many options under the circumstances, so almost had a highlight goal.
Featherston decides not to go in the Yasir direction this time and goes to the outer side. Mark taken by Vic Country out there. Friend pops the kick, had two options. Skepper pushes the handball out. Hardy got a kick away for Vic Metro. James, clearing kick inside 50. Murphy in front spot, couldn't take the mark. Angelopoulos takes it. Caught, dispossessed. Umpire waving the arms, calling play on. Eventually he's going to have to call for it. Forward pocket outer side for Vic Metro. They're 4-5-29. Vic Country 2-4-16. 5.5 minutes we are approaching in the third term. As the umpire says there was a bit of blocking going on, and a free kick will go the way of Vic Country inside defensive 50. Matzer goes towards the outer side. Again, Vic Metro with numbers around the contest to apply the pressure. James almost escaped the tackle and will be pinged for holding the footy.
They're lucky there. It's the first time they'll get clear of their defensive 50.
Skepper, high ball, comes out the back and it favours Vic Country. They get a hurried kick forward of centre. Mailer takes the mark, has a free player running past in Shap. She takes the mark at centre half forward, wanted to play on immediately, pops it into space for Vic Country. Had all the ingredients, but unable to come off with it. Reed took the mark for Vic Metro. Puts it into a dangerous position, half-back flank on the broadcast side. We're going to get a call for it here. It was the right decision from Poppy Shap.
Yeah, she took it on. It was just unfortunate. She put it in the one position that sort of advantaged the defender, and it went to her, unfortunately, but good effort anyway.
Tompkins, squaring ball to centre half forward to Friend. She flicks it wide. The mark taken by Jade Anthony.
Kicked a few goals on debut for the Stingrays this year. Ooh.
A long drop punt kick, falls top of the goal square for Vic Country. All hands on deck as Vic Metro able to work it clear, and will end straight back into the hands. Who goes wide. Mark taken by Skepper. Finds herself inside 50. She's going to go back to Anthony.
She's picking up a fair bit of the ball the last minute.
It's the old one too, but not the handballs with a kick.
She didn't have to move too much more than about 15 metres in a circle. It's a bit of a training circle drill there.
So Jade Anthony, and we saw that she's a fairly decent kick with her last entry inside 50. A little close to the goal on this occasion, and no good. Ball top of the goal square. The umpire says there was a high tackle and it will go the way of Vic Country. Cassidy Malla to take it. From the Murray Bushrangers. They badly need this one.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most important kicks for goal they've had so far.
A lot of pressure on her shoulders, and she delivers.
Never looked like missing. Very impressive.
Cassidy Malla there. And it works the margin back ever so slightly. 3-4-22 to 4-5-29. We've travelled 9 minutes, third term, here in this Under-16s AFLW Championship game at Avalon Airport Oval. The Under-18s Vic Country Vic Metro match will follow at 2 o'clock, live streamed through nableague.com.au. Here's Pete Williams.
And that was probably the first goal against the flow, really. All game we've seen the momentum swings, and that was the first time that, we've seen one against the flow.
So ball back in the middle. Pulteney won the tap down. Vic Metro move it forward. Squeezed out, searching for Tompkins here for Vic Country, who's wrapped up. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up, as the sunshine makes its appearance for the first time today.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long it'll be here, but we welcome its attendance.
Make the most of it as they get it to Smart at the front of the contest. Tries to clear the marking attempt inside the goal square. Vic Country, they've coughed it up. Hurried flying shot from Simpson goes to the near side. Minor score. Doijok just emerging from the rooms for Vic Country.
That was the other one. She's a bit walking slowly. Not looking great. No. She's walking at least, but she's not. She looks, little out of it. A
little flat, I think, would be the way of putting it. Vic Country. And they try and use a chain of handballs to relinquish the pressure, but they're unable to. Hardy sends it back inside 50 here for Vic Metro. Unable to take the mark there was James. Dangerous here from Vic Country, but they're able to release some pressure. Skepper takes the mark inside defensive 50. She's been everywhere on the ground so far today. The squaring kick was patted out of the hands. Rowbottom got a fist involved, and then Vic Metro send it back in the Murphy direction. Skepper, follow the ball. Again, tries to get the kick. Smith laying the tap on that time, and Vic Metro will again send it inside 50. No mark. Ball to ground. Murphy fighting for it. James jumping in the top of it for Vic Metro. Will ball it up.
Skipper and Dowling playing very well back there. They're just repelling all the attacks. They've just got to get it past the half-back line.
Ball tossed back up. Here's James roving the contests, but the accuracy was a little askew. Out on the full free kick to go the way of Vic Country. Booth to take it, the other co-captain today for Vic Country.
Yeah, it's a very important kick. They've got to maybe open up this, I guess, the traditional fat side. Trying to, straight into the player on the mark.
She was lucky to get a second chance there. The kick a little too hot for her teammate waiting underneath it. High ball from Vic Country. They work it into the hands of Tompkins. Squaring ball is good. Great mark taken by Gilmore. Back on the ground after that incident in the second term. Her kick almost effective. Vic Metro combining the two there. As Lennox taken into the ground, the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
Yeah, Gilmore's got a fair set of hands there. She's clunked a couple of really great marks under pressure.
Tap one down by McKee. Pushing it forward, Meyer. Vic Country.
Skepper again.
Off the carpet. She chases it up here to Skepper. Under pressure from Papachristos. Skepper puts it towards the top of the goal square. It's bouncing, it's bouncing.
Oh.
Rubs the post, I think, in the end.
Yeah, that would have been the goal of the day easily. That was terrific by Skepper.
We've had a couple of close contenders here at Avalon Airport Oval in this Under-16s AFLW Championship game. Under pressure now, Vic Metro inside defensive 50. The umpire's picked out a free kick going the way of Meyer.
Mailer's just dropped into the hole and they've picked her up there. So Country offering up some leads.
And she decides to hoist it. Top of the goal square, ball's going to land. Came off hands, front spot, Angwin pushes it through. Tyler Angwin there from the Gippsland Power, putting it through for Vic Country. And again, as you said before, against the flow of play, we have a 1-point ball game here at Avalon Airport Oval.
Well, I mean, the first 3 minutes you were worried, this could get out to a 4 or 5 goal margin, the way Metro just dominating possession. And Country have worked their way back into it. Credit to them. They've been under fire in that defence. And I think having Skepper back there as well as Dowling, they've really helped because they're, composed with the ball, using it really well, and Skepper's pushing up as well.
So, pivotal bounce in the middle. Vic Country will win the clearance. McKee was roving her own ruck work. Put the ball towards half forward. Dispossessed is Stubber's going to be pinged. Holding the footy. Free kick to go the way of Vic Country. Just outside attacking 50. Gilmore goes short.
They've got numbers everywhere. If they look over to the left there...
Meyer just decides to pop it up into the congested area of attacking 50 for Vic Country. Players diving left, right and centre. Lennox ended up with the ball. She's caught. And the umpire says, I'll ball it up, thanks.
Unlucky there for Skepper, who'd got worked into about 30 metres of space. Unfortunately, a teammate just hadn't looked over that side yet.
Ball padded into the hands of Meyer. Releases the handball to Skepper. Dinky little kick is good. And a hurry kick towards the square from Angwin. Touched according to the umpires.
That would have been
Marks is celebrating. There's a conversation going on the line.
Hang on, let's go to the video replay.
Score review, please, umpire. Touched. Minor score.
Well, that would have been the goal of the day, but again, they're getting so close. Not quite.
Sargent takes the mark for Vic Metro, brings it towards the broadcast wing. Off hands. Sanderson released the handball to Condon inside 50 here for Vic Country. Comes to the front of the contest, wrapped up his mailer. And the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. With about 20 seconds left on the clock in this third term.
Well, Country won't be behind at the final break, which is important. If they get a score here, they'll be in front.
And they'll get a free kick.
And this is going to be another shot after the siren.
And Matza's going to take it. Gillard having a bit of a conversation with the umpire.
Putting her on her line. Well, this will be probably just inside the 50.
So Grace Matza from the Gippsland Power. Has given it her best attempt. Falls about 5 metres short in the end, but a great attempt there from Grace Matza. Sees the score at 3/4 time. Level. Dead level. 4:6:30 apiece.
What a game. I don't think we were thinking 4 minutes into that quarter.
No.
We thought Metro were about to run away with it, and credit to Country. And then, well, there isn't much of a breeze, but maybe that the scoring end is something that will help Country in that final term. So, Keely Skep has been enormous today. She's been terrific for Country. And Matza has been quite impressive as well. There's been quite a few, and as I mentioned before, Dowling in defence, she saved a number of attacks rebounding out of there. So
certainly did. As the goal kickers at 3/4 time, 2 goals to Anelia McKee for Vic Country, singles to Cassidy Malla and Tyler Angwin, whilst for Vic Metro we have 4 goal kickers as well. Angela Polis has 1, Michaela Appleby, Charlie Murphy and Talia Gillard, those goal kickers.
yes, it's good the scores are level now. We're set up for an absolute ripping last quarter. Of course, for anyone who doesn't know, the Under-16s champs, it isn't like the boys where you play a whole series. They had their 2 sort of warm-up games, I guess, if you like. They played against New South Wales ACT, which Metro won, and Vic Country went down to SA. And this is the final match that they play. They sort of play amongst each other to get them ready for next year and beyond when they play under-18s who do play against all the other states.
Yes, and the Under-18s championship game for Vic Metro and Vic Country coming your way at 2 o'clock through nableague.com.au to finish off Series 1 of the Under-18s championships. Round 2 heads up to the Gold Coast in a couple of weeks' time. We'll take one final break and be back with the final term. It's all square here at Avalon Airport Oval, 4:6:30 apiece. Final term of the AFLW Under-16s Championship game here at Avalon Airport Oval is going to be an absolute cracker because the scores are level. 4-6-30 apiece. 15 minutes left on the clock. Pete, who wins?
Yeah, it's tough to say from here. I'm going to go with Country, I think. They've got the end that seems to be better, even though they did outscore them that quarter. But in saying that, Country, since quarter time, have been quite impressive. They've kicked 4 goals to 1 since quarter time. So they've certainly been on the board a fair bit more, and if they can make the most of their opportunities, it'll be really good. Might even be a draw. We know how much you love a draw.
Always got to love the draw. Ball up in the middle. Tap one down by Pulteney. Yasir tracking it, unable to take it cleanly. Hardy whacks it on the boot. High ball inside 50. Pack collides, no one able to take it. Clearing kick coming from Radford for Vic Country. There's a push out and a free kick will go the way of the white jumper. Richardson. High ball in towards the middle. Had 3 players to pick out. None of them were able to take it. Hardy coming through. Was cut off by Anthony, who just shoveled it forward for Vic Country. Yasir stealing it. Coughed it up though. Skepper coming through. 2 of the best players on the park in this under-16s game on opposite sides today, using the footy as friend. Just pops it into the pocket. Ooh, is the umpire a little hot on the whistle there?
Yeah, it looked like they sort of went a bit of an assumption there. I thought she kept it in. Probably lucky in the end because I think Metro had it covered after that. They were both in play compared to the one Country player.
So we'll throw it in. Vic Country inside attacking 50. Metro win the ball down. Yasir again tracking it. Takes it cleanly, but's under pressure. Got the handball away. Matza just coughed the handball up. Unable to take it was Asic, and will throw the ball in. Almost on centre wing broadcast side. Scores still level, 4-6-30. Umpire tosses it back into play. Comes out the back. Again, you see he was tracking it. Stolen, though, by Skepper. High ball inside 50. Comes out the back. Foot race on. Friend trying to trap it in. They work it clear here. Flying shot from Angwin. Goes through for a minor score, but at least Peter breaks the deadlock.
Yeah, they're in front now, which is the main thing. They probably should have gone to the other side because they had an extra runner on the other side, but took her chance, which is important, and had a shot. Unfortunately went to the wrong side.
Lennox brings it towards the broadcast side. Comes off hands. Oh, Vic Metro have turned it over. Ryan pops it inside 50 for Vic Country. Working it clear was McKee. Up against the fence. Again, having another flying shot was Friend. This time it went out on the full, so Lennox will take the free kick. Back pocket on the broadcast side. 4-7-31 Vic Country, leading Vic Metro by a point. Approaching the 3-minute mark in this final quarter. High ball comes to ground. And it should be shuffled over the boundary line and out of play.
Yeah, it's been camped in there for the full time this quarter, so Country certainly on top at the moment. If they can capitalise, it's a handy point margin at the moment, so it could go up to 7 if they can put one through the big sticks.
They just need a goal to get a bit of a buffer. Ball comes out the back of the contest. Little shove there from Chivarella, goes to ground. Stacks on the mill. Ball somehow squeezed out the way of Ryan. High ball inside 50. Lennox trying her best to stop the attack. Caught here is Asic, and will throw the ball up.
Yeah, I really liked Vic Country, the way that they've set up since that first quarter, where Metro sort of had a heap of numbers out the back, and now they're aware of it, so Country are matching up on them.
Pulteney tried to get it clear. Yasir did her best as well. Good tackle laid on by Poppy Shapp to cause another stoppage. Will ball it up.
She's loves her tackling, Shapp. She's laid quite a few big ones. Despite being a smaller player, she's laid quite a number of big tackles today.
Pulteney wins the tap down. Yasir again tracking it, unable to take it cleanly. He's done that a few times in this quarter. Richardson just pops it into a bit of space for Vic Country, close to the boundary line. It will again go out of play. Stagnant start to this final term, but it is trapped inside 50 for Vic Country, which they'll be pleased with.
Yeah, it's been all Vic Country so far. They just have only managed to put on the one behind.
And all players on this broadcast side of the ground too at the moment. Stolen out of the ruck there by McKee, got a high tackle and will get a free kick.
There haven't been too many one-on-ones that she's lost. She's either won free kicks or has won one-on-ones, so it's really impressive to see.
Oh, and has copped that straight up to her opposition.
On the mark, here's Shap. Ooh.
And a clearing kick for Vic Metro. Might come straight back. No, Smart tries to hold things up, coming over the top, Dowling to cause the stoppage, and will get a ball up. Centre wing broadcast side here at Avalon Airport Oval. 1 point lead to Vic Country. Under 10 minutes left on the clock in the final term. Tompkins, high ball. Unable to take the mark and losing her feet there was Reed. Opportunity here for Vic Country. Deep inside 50 now is Anthony. Fires the handball back in more to Gilmore in space. Gilmore puts it through.
And they were very fortunate there in the middle, Vic Country, because the player with the ball had one arm pinged by the tackler and got a handball away with one arm. So fortunate, but they got the rub of the green, and that was great to see. That was a great passage of play once they got inside 50. They were able to get it through, and Gilmore just kept running hard into space and then put it straight through, and 7 points up. It's a handy buffer.
What I liked then was that they just didn't blaze away. They looked around for the right target.
Yeah, it's one of their best passages of play going forward today.
And importantly, gives them a 7 point lead, Vic Country. We've travelled 6.5 minutes into the final term. As the umpires. So Vic Country have a warning, I believe. Just out of position there.
You don't want to cop one of them in the last quarter.
No, you see. Again, paddling the ball in front of herself. It's become a theme in this final term. This time she gets a knock high.
And that was right in front of the umpire too, so there was no missing that one.
She slowly gets to her feet.
Goes in hard, you see. I really like that she can play inside or outside. Wins her own footy and can get to the outside as well.
Being very prominent today for Vic Metro. She sends it in the Murphy direction at half forward. Ends up in her hand somehow. Don't ask me how.
She tried to claim the mark there too, which I thought was a little ambitious, given that clearly two players before her had grabbed it. But
so we'll toss it up again. Half forward here for Vic Metro. Desperately needs some sort of a score from this passage of play. Woods is caught.
Halfway through the quarter now, so it's time's ticking down. Still plenty of time, but there's it's just ticking down. You'd want to score pretty soon.
So Vic Country, they pop the handball out. Meyer. Oh, caught high. No, the umpire's not having a bar of it. Says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
Maybe he thought she ducked her head because that was, quite high.
Tap one down by Pulteney. Smith just tried to soccer it off the carpet. Vic Country had it momentarily. Here's Smith again. Lost her footing. On the outside had Hardy. Tries to centre the ball, and it's good. Mark taken here by Pulteney, just outside attacking 50. Long ball, top of the goal square, comes off hands. Chasing it is Smart, close to the boundary line. Handball popped over the top. Yasir will take it. Did the fend off, up against the boundary line. Tried to create a miracle, but was unable to. They need to lock it in here.
I really like Hardy. She hasn't had heaps of the ball compared to others, but she just is really composed and weighs up her options before disposing of it.
Vic Country send it towards the half-back flank on the broadcast side. Off hands, Pulteney taking it away. One bounce over the boundary line and out of play. Forward pocket broadcast side for Vic Metro. They trail by 7 points, ticked over the 9-minute mark in the final term here at Avalon Airport Oval of this Under-16s AFLW Championship game. Streaming live through nableague.com.au as Country. McKee was looking to get away with it, taken by Appleby, flying shot, coming back around. Touched in the goal square and Country have numbers. Dowling puts a kick. It's a dangerous kick underneath it. Tompkins got knocked out of her hands. Mopping up for Metro was James. Plays slipping over left, right and centre. Door opens here for Meyer going down the line. Friend under pressure takes a great mark. Defensive side of the broadcast wing in front of Papachristos. Puts it up towards the centre wing now on the broadcast side. Stolen away there from Angwin.
Now this will be interesting if she can get goal side here, Dorjok.
Wasn't able to on that occasion, but might end up with the handball here. She does.
Good luck.
Puts the afterburners on.
Luck.
Fends off the tackle. Dorjok from point blank range. And the umpire's going to bring it back, I think. I don't believe...
Wasn't disposed of correctly? Is that what we're...
Yeah, another
I tell you what, we are having almost every goal now is almost a goal of the day, and we keep getting spoiled. I feel like there's a party pooper somewhere that's wrecking it for us, because there's about 5 almost goals of the day.
McKee will pop it back inside 50 for Vic Country, and they have a mark in Angwin. Hurry kick. Player out the back of the contest. Unable to take the mark there was Gilmore. Ball still in play for Vic Country. Hurry kick around the body. He's through for a minor score.
That's all they got to do, though. Keep it down that end. Sometimes a behind at this stage of the game is almost better than a goal, because Metro then have to get it to the other end, where a goal will get you back into the middle.
8-point margin in favour of Vic Country. Under 4 minutes left on the clock in the final turn.
Bizarre, there's no one on the mark for Country.
As taking full effect of it is Lennox. Brings it to the broadcast side. Ball off hands. Meyer got caught high. And we'll get a free kick. Plays on quickly. Long ball. Lennox nearly got punched out of her hands. Vic Metro coming through. Oh, they've coughed it up again. Friend taking the mark. Just inside attacking 50. High ball. Going to land top of the goal square.
Poor old Keely Skepper got in another 30 metres of space, and no one wants to kick it to her. She wins her own footy, but she's doing all the right things. So
instead, it went down the throat of Rowbottom. But again, Vic Country, Angwin, he did a magic trick there for Vic Country. Friend sitting under this one. Should take the mark, does. Decides to play on, pops it up again, top of the goal square here for Vic Country. Dorjok hovering out the back of the contest, gets into her hands. Her kick smothered, goes back in after it, Dorjok. The umpire should call for it and does.
It's interesting that Vic Country are playing on at every opportunity when the clock's winding down. I'd just be taking you a bit of time off the clock, 20 seconds.
Patted down. McKee's kick smothered. Vic Metro under all sorts of pressure. Papachristos puts it back into the dangerous corridor. Crowley there. She's going to get caught. Got the kick away. But it's all white jumpers. Friend. Toe pokes it to Gilmore.
Now, there's a free Country player on the line. Don't think she could get...
High ball again. Top of the goal square for Vic Country. Yasir applying the tackle. Dorjok able to hold things up as well for Vic Country. We'll get a ball up.
This is going to take an effort.
Under 2 minutes left on the clock. 8-point margin in favour of Vic Country, and we're deep inside attacking 50 for them. Ball on the deck. Lennox coming through. Coughs it up. Mallow gets the handball quickly away to Angwin. Her kick smothered. Ball now taken away here by Papachristos for Vic Metro. Ball going to come straight back in, though. Friend, who's been that gatekeeper across half forward, puts it down the throat of Angwin.
Take your time. Yeah, that's been Country's problem in this last 2 minutes. They've kept it in there, but every kick has been looked to play on, which is terrific when you're down, but when you're up, you just want to take your time.
Angwin puts it on its way, going to float over the contest. Maya weighing out the back. I don't think she expected the ball to be in her hands.
No, they were all on the goal line, every player, and she was just standing to the side, I think waiting for the spoil, and then it just landed in her hands.
She opens up the angle and puts it through. Vic Country
The win today.
4 minutes into the third quarter, you wouldn't have said this was going to be the result.
No.
6-8-44, Vic Country leading Vic Metro 4-6-30. Under 30 seconds left on the clock in this AFLW Under-16s championship game.
They know it too. All the defenders are high-fiving. They're pretty excited. They're going to get the win with 20 seconds remaining.
And of course, if it wasn't the 6x6x6 rule, you would have been stacking the defensive 50.
Well, they're 14 points down with 30 seconds remaining, Coxie. I don't think they're going to kick a 15-point goal. That's
true. Thank you very much, Pete Williams, joining us in the commentary box today. Siren sounds, Vic Country victors. And they erupt in celebration, defeating arch rivals Vic Metro 6-8-44 to 4-6-30. It was really their game after quarter time.
Oh, there was a terrific effort. They're really a great team unit, similar to the boys 18s that we've seen there. They work really hard together. Make the most of their opportunities. They're not always the cleanest going forward. They were better in that second half, but certainly they just managed to get possession, and that was something in the first quarter and the early stages of the third where Metro sort of came out firing and just dominated possession, and they set up really well where Country weren't as willing to move, I guess, out of position. They didn't want to lose their line. They wanted to hold that line up. Which is good because it means you're not going to get sucked into the contest like they were early. But after that, that's when they needed to be a bit more free-flowing, and they did that. So they finished the championships with a win where you can, Metro obviously got up against New South Wales ACT where Vic Country went down to SA. So it's good for Vic Country to get a win, and that's the championships done for the 16s.
Final scores just been confirmed here at Avalon Airport Oval. 6-8-44, Vic Country defeating Vic Metro 4-6-30. Let's look down at the list of players for both sides that were impressive today, starting with the side that will come away without the points today in Vic Metro. Was really impressed with Amelia Yassir, was impressive in that final turn, tried to generate something, was constantly hunting the footy, was just unable to get her hands on it on most occasions.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with her. I think she was their top player. And I think for Country, obviously, Keely Skepper, I think, was Country's best player. I think they were the two standouts from both sides across the four quarters. Michaela Appleby showed signs. I liked Matilda Hardy in patches. She used the ball really well. Charlie Murphy kept presenting all day. Charlie Rowbottom in defence had a few nice moments. And then the three talls at the Calder Cannons, Pulteney, Crowley and Gillard, just showed bits and pieces throughout the whole match, which was really good. And Eliza James was another one who we called her name a few times. And then going through the Country list, you've got Grace Matza, who was really good as a tall for Country, moved really well. Talia Mayer was quite impressive, I thought. We saw her a fair bit. Poppy Shapp with her defensive work. And Annalee McKee, of course, was impressive up forward. Ella Friend, Elizabeth Dowling. They all really played a nice role. And, of course, Nike Dojok showed some real great signs, almost kicked a terrific goal, but as we've seen twice in this game, you've got to remember to bounce the ball. It might be a difficult thing to do when your adrenaline's pumping. You get past the last defender and you think, here I go, and then you forget to bounce it.
It's all right, the commentator, I'll admit, I forgot about the bouncing ball as well, so quite happy.
And some of those goals, we were so close to a goal, like a really good goal of the day, one after the other. There were about 4 or 5 of the last goals were all brilliant goals, and well, they weren't goals, they were behinds, but we had a couple from the boundary line up both ends. We had Doidjok's no bounce goal, and there were a couple. Skepper had a magnificent kind of snap-on goal from about 40 out that almost bounced through but hit the post. We got close.
Encouraging signs, as we said, this is was the under-16s game, so these players will get another couple of years in the pathway system, and based on some of the skills that we saw today, yes, it was a little bit slippery, which did have a bit of an impact, but geez, there's some excitement coming through the ranks.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see what these players can do over the next few years. And we knew a few of the names coming in from what we'd seen at the NAB League level. Obviously, Yashir and Lennox were a couple who played in the grand final and impressed, despite being obviously that bottom age coming through. Michaela Appleby's another one who's impressed in a very strong Knights outfit. As I mentioned earlier, Charlie Rowbottom kicked a few goals on her debut, and as did Jade Anthony for Country and Dandenong. Look, there's a lot that are coming through. Tara Slender's the one that I think is one really to look for over the next few years. So, and Keely Skepper, of course, is one. You get a lot of an idea when they step up amongst their peers. Sometimes when you're playing at NAB League level, depending on the team you're in and the role that you play, you don't always get the role that you're used to when you're playing against older players who have more experience in that role. And to see Keely Skepper stand up today, I think she's a name now we can certainly keep an eye on for the future. She's a real terrific talent, and she just kept working hard. She got into space so many times inside 50, and a couple of times she wasn't rewarded just because they weren't looking in that direction. But she certainly worked hard into space, and she'd win it at half-back, then go forward. And yeah, she's one I think that we'll definitely have to keep an eye out on in the future, as is Elizabeth Dowling for the Falcons.
Final scores here from the AFLW Under-16s Championship game. Vic Country, the victors, 6-8-44, defeating Vic Metro 4-6-30. That concludes the Under-16s Championship for 2019. Coming up at 2 o'clock through nableague.com.au. Stay tuned because we have the Under-18s AFLW Championships coming your way. That will be live streamed through nableague.com.au.